So as you can see, I've got WKS1 and WKS2 running, 01, 02 showing. I'm going to start off with doing some stuff on WKS01. So in WKS01, I'll open up my terminal and I'm going to I'll just make this a bit bigger so we can see better. And I'm just going to set the host name. So I'm going to go sudo host name ctl set tac host name, and it'll be WKS01. Put in my password, and here I'm going to then, once I've done the set host name, so now I'm just going to edit my host file. So I'm just going to go sudo nano etc hosts, and I'm just going to change where it says Carly, yours might say student. So I'm just going to change this to WKS tac 01. Hit enter, Control X, yes for to write it and write to the file. Now we've got unable to resolve the host WKS. That'll be fixed up when we do a reboot. So I'm just going to go sudo reboot. Carly in my case. Okay, so now that I've set the host name on WKS01, I'm now going to I'll just make this bigger. I'm going to repeat it on the other virtual machine. Okay, so now I'm on to WKS02, and I'm just going to repeat changing that host name on this one. So again, it's going to be sudo hostname ctl set hostname WKS-02. Put in my username, then sudo nano etc hosts. Come down here, WKS tac 02. Save that. Do a sudo reboot. Okay, when we come back, we're just going to do the last little thing we need to do on WKS02. When I mean the last little thing we've got to do from WKS02, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all the setup using SSH, and I'll do it through WKS01. So I'm just going to log in here. Okay, so so now all we're going to do is we're just going to configure SSH. So all I'm going to do is under sudo, I'm doing a systemctl restart SSH. Okay, that's all I'm going to do there. And as you can see, we can see that it's WKS02 because it tells me here. Okay. So, okay, WKS01, and do the same thing here. I'm just going to go sudo system ctl, restart, spell it correctly, ssh. Right. Now I'm going to do a sudo apt update, apt update, and sudo apt install terminator. So this will take a couple of seconds to do, won't take long at all. So all it's doing is updating the repositories to make sure that I've got all the latest packages that are available in those repositories. Once it's done that, it will ask if I want to install Terminator, and I'm just going to hit enter for yes, so it's now installing Terminator. Okay. Once Terminator's installed, okay, so Terminator's installed, so I'm just going to go up to my applications and open Terminator. I can actually close this one down. So now I've got Terminator open. I'm just going to increase my font. I'm going to right click and I'm going to split vertically, so now I've got two screens or two terminals open, and I'm just going to, at this point here, I'm just going to SSH into my WKS01. Trouble is, I don't know what WKS01's IP address is. So 02 I should mean, so I'll just go IPA, and it's 2.10. Okay, so I'm now back over here, it's on 1, and so it's Carly at 10.0.2.10, and yes, I do. Carly, and as you can see, we're now into WKS02. I'm just going to clear that. I'm going back over here, and this little icon here, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to say group all in Windows. So the two terminals that I have running in Windows, I'm just going to say group. So I'm going to group them all. So we can see we've got window group 1 and window group 1. And then over here, I'm going to click on here again, and I'm going to say broadcast group. Okay, so that means whatever I do on one terminal will actually display on the other as well. So I'll be doing it on both machines at the same time. So we're going to install XRPD, and we're going to install Remina. Okay, so I'm going to do an update again because I haven't done the update on WKS02. So I'm going to do sudo apt update and sudo apt install, but now I'm going to install XRDP space Remina, and then I'm going to put a tac y to say, yep, I want you to install both of those packages. Type in. So as you can see, it's doing it on both machines. Now one machine will be faster because it's already has previously done the update. But that's okay. It'll keep going. The WKS02 will keep going until it finishes. Once this is finished, what we're going to do is we're going to configure our XRDP. We're going to add in a user, and then we're going to give this a try. So I'm just going to Control L, so I'm going to clear that. So we're going to go sudo add user XRDP, and then we're going to go SSL cert, and we'll hit enter. So that's been done. Now the next thing that we need to do is to start up XRDP. So we're going to start up XRDP. We're going sudo systemctl restart XRDP. Now I use restart instead of start because sometimes it might have already been started. So by just doing a restart, if it's started, it will restart. If it hasn't started, it won't restart. It'll just start. So we've done that. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new user. Mainly because I don't. If we create a new user, it means we don't need to log out of the Kali user on WKS02. So again, sudo add user, and we're going to add user 1. Okay, we're doing this on both machines. We'll give it a password. I'm giving it a password of student. I'm not going to worry about the full name or anything like that. And yes, it is correct. Okay. So now we've got everything ready for us to go and use Remina to log into, well, to RDP into WKS02. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to exit from our SSH session. I'm just going to open up my application menu and look for Remina. And once I've got Remina, I'm going to open it, and then I'm just going to type in the IP address of WKS02. So it's 10.0.2.10. I'm going to hit enter, and yes, I want to, oh, there it is, yes, I want to accept the certificate. It's now connected. I'm just going to, and I'm going to log in as user 1 with a password of student. And there we go. I had now use the Kali to authenticate, fully authenticate. I'm just going to update the resolution. Okay. And if I open up a screen, we can see, without me doing anything, we can see that this is WKS TAC 02. Okay. The next thing we're going to do, once I'm going to close this. Now I'm going to log off, close this connection, so I can just go up here and close the connection. Right, I'm going to leave that there for a second, and then I'm going across and to our Windows machine. Right. I'm going to log into the Windows machine, and I'm going to do two things here. Number one, I'm going to allow RDP. Right. So I'll go into settings, and go into system, scroll down to remote desktop, and enable remote desktop and confirm. Okay, don't need to do anything else there. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our firewall. Okay, so and allow an app through Windows firewalls. Okay, so we would go down till we find RD or remote desktop remote desktops. Now yours might already be might not be checked. If it's checked, good. If it's not checked, then click on it and then go up to change settings, and then you'll be able to tick on remote desktop. Right, and that will allow our remote desktop to come through the firewall. Okay. Our next thing that we need to do is just to find out the IP address of this device. So IP config, and it's 10.0.2.6. Okay. So I'm going back over to here, and I'm going to go, well, first off, I should log off here. So I'm just going to log out. Sign out. .0.2.6. And put in my username. In my case, my username is student and my password is student. And just wait until we get in, and then I'll do a click on this to dynamically change the settings, the resolution. And there we are, we're in our Windows. Right, so we can see here I'm still in my Linux. You can still see down here that I've still got WKS 01. So that's what we're running. Okay, now that we've done RDP, Linux to Linux, and Linux to Windows, let's go back and do Windows to Linux. So I'll just open up and I'll type in remote well, I've just typed in remote, and we do remote desktop connection. I'm going to type in 0.2.10, so WKS2, and to connect, I'm just going to say yes, and I'm going to log in as user 1, and student. Okay, so this here tells us that we're still in Windows, but we're using our Kali machine. And if you look down here, we've got Win 10 RDP exercise, and it's running. I can open up a terminal here, and we can see it's WKS02. Okay, so that is RDP, Linux to Linux, Linux to Windows, and Windows to Linux. Catch you on next time.